Hello, Americans. Another friend and subscribers around the world. Back here, man. Guess what I'm doing? Wanted to go up and get some more, but I think I'm gonna wait a couple days. It is probably about 5:30. It's actually darker out here than it looks like on camera. But I can see. I'm gonna uncover the splitter. Finish. Still got one big one in there. Finish that, and then I'm going to grab some of these and start splitting them. And then, obviously I got to saw up some lengths. And if I get this split and thrown over the door, towards the door here. See where I got some split. I need to move my bikes. I'm just going to split, try to throw it over here to get stacked. Just do a swap, but man, this stuff needs to be split and stacked. So like I said, I'm gonna wait a couple days, probably to go out and get it. And I'll spend the mornings, for the next few mornings, get this split. There's a lot of other things I need to do, but this is, definitely this is a part of self-reliance, survival, especially when it's your only source of heat. It's pretty important. What'd you say, Miss Kitty?
I said, breakfast. And what'd you say?
I said, oh, thank you, coming. So something that, can't work and bank. Let's see if I can do this. Just like that. Something I've been out here when you're doing wood, you got a lot of time to think. Something that's been stuck in my craw for a bit now. A while back, some won't mention any names or anything like that. City slicker, or as we call them up here, flatlanders. Was up here. Came up to visit with Katie and Tim, and just standing out there talking. And didn't say it about to me as referring to me, but said, oh yeah, Katie and Tim, they should go back down the city or go back down the flatlands. They wouldn't have to live like this. What? What? So, needless to say, I almost lost my cool. This is coming from I don't know how old he is, probably around 30. He's young enough to be one of my kids. And I told him, man, have you lost your freaking mind? Here's a kid, that I found out, doesn't own a pissed pot in, making payments on 2 fancy cars, renting an apartment or whatever, making payments on his flipping couch, on his couch. And he's telling me that my kids would be better off down there in the flatlands. Of course, the battery went dead. So anyway, saying that my kids would be better off, be able to get better jobs, all this stuff down there. Couldn't afford it. And my grandkids getting raised down there. He's got a couple of kids. And it just blew my mind, completely floored me, man. I almost lost my crap. But, so I just proceeded to tell him that he's out of his flipping mind. What's better down there? It's insane. I mean, and then on top of that, is you're not paying attention to what's going on in this crazy world. And then the funny thing is every, not every weekend, but quite a few weekends, we're scraping together to go camping, to come up here and go camping. Scraping it together, He's scraping together a few $100 to come up here and do what I can do in 10 minutes away. I can't remember everything that I said to him or whatever, but for one thing is this lifestyle. I don't live this lifestyle because I have to. I live this lifestyle because I chose to. Long time ago. We played that, man. After I broke my foot off, spent a year in a wheelchair and all that, I bought a fancy house down in Meridian, Idaho, years ago. And the payments on the flipping house were insane. I had the credit and had the freaking fancy truck and the four-wheelers and all the hoorah bull crap, and dead up to my eyebrows. Is that what life's all about? Not for this kid, man. This was always me and Miss Kitty's dream, man. Having a homestead was always our dream. It's a lot of work, I'll tell you that. Just like this, man. Whoa. Just like this. If I don't get this firewood all chopped up, we don't have no heat. None. Payments, I don't usually talk about all financial and all that kind of stuff. And, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. But kind of go into it a little bit, man. This my place is mine. I own it. Bought and paid for. My cars, bought and paid for. All my junk, bought and paid for. Monthly payments, none. Well, except these subscriptions. That'll be for another video. My monthly overhead is under $1,000 a month. You know, and that's cell phones and Netflix, and now I have a monthly subscription to books on tape. You know, because I listen to a lot of books. If I don't have time to read, I'll put them in my ear when I'm working and just listening to them. What else do I have? You know, you got your insurance. You know, obviously, freaking taxes. You never really own your place. You think you do. We won't get into that yet either. Don't pay your taxes. They come, oh, we're taking your property. What? How the hell does this work? This way of life ain't for everybody, man. Well, there's people that love that city life, man, and all the power to them, and thank God they do, or everybody be up here. Well, a lot of folks gotta have pavement and lights and commotion and craziness going on all the time. Me, I just want a frickin' sound of birds. And hey, I got it. Other than dang construction and road noise anymore, I'd really like to go up higher, deeper in. We've looked at some, a little bit of property and stuff, man, because I've talked about it before, about wanting to buy, some property up in the pine trees or whatever. But it's that monthly payment. Unless something happens, I don't have the money to buy the property outright. That's what I'd really want to do. It's funny because when I was thinking about talking about this, doing this video, I had all these things I was going to talk about. I can't remember none of them. It's just humans. Humans. And then ones that think that they're better than somebody else. That drives me, that probably is what gets stuck in my craw more than anything. Nobody's better than nobody. Crap. That's where all these dang billionaires, that are trying to control our everything. They think they're better than everybody else. You ain't better than crap, man. You're better than the guy standing out there with the working food sign. He's down on his luck. Agitates me, can you tell? I just find it amusing, man, to say, oh, they could better their life, they should be down there, but yet you're coming up here every chance you get. Huh? Man, some people ought to think before they talk, I reckon. Anyway, the moral of that story is this old hillbilly and his kids grandkids, we ain't going nowhere. Especially down there. You nuts. One that really got me was the making payments on your couch. I didn't even know that was a thing. It's understandable, I guess. Flex steel couch is pretty good money. Woo! Me personally, I'd be going down the junk shop buying me a couch. Definitely ain't making no payments on something like that. I don't like payments. Flip note from that, you know, after going up, kids, camping and stuff, that, you know, got me to thinking, you know, and I don't know how many camp trailers I got, a lot, you know, they all need work on them and stuff, and I don't have any small ones, you know, I thought about getting a little teardrop that we could pull behind Kitty's car. But, that's, you know, just ain't paying the kind of money they're talking about. But anyway, so I was looking up some small camp trailers, you know, like little 13-footers and stuff like that. And going through there, came across a same exact camper, camp trailer that I grew up camping in, my grandpa's trailer. And he had that same camp trailer, man, my whole life, you know, or my whole childhood. We camped in this camp trailer, man, hunting and fishing and everything. And he had the same camp trailer. And then he sold it, and I'm pretty sure that my aunt bought it, I think. And then she sold it, and my mom and Grandpa Scott bought it. This is, you know, Grandpa passed away. He had a fifth wheel. He went from that little camp trailer to a fifth wheel. He paid cash, man. He paid cash for the fifth wheel and the Ford pickup that he pulled it with. You know, that's the way I was raised, man. Is you save and you just purchase it. You know, you own it. Now, obviously, man, a mortgage or something like that, or, you know, property, whatever. You know, I just don't want, especially in this crazy thing going on now, I just don't want no payments on property, you know, unless it was real light ones. Anyway, we ain't going on. I ain't talking about property right. I'm always thinking about property, but I ain't talking about it. You know, that's somebody a long time ago said, man, it's the wisest words there is. Buy land, my boy, because they ain't making no more. It's always stuck with me since I was I don't know how old I was, man. I was young when I first heard that. So back to the camp trailer. So anyway, so I'm looking through there, then my mom and Grandpa Scott bought it, and then I bought it from them. You know, and it was my grandpa's original camp trailer that we used my whole life. I just love that camp trailer. It was the camp trailer of all camp trailers, just a little one. I don't know, 13, 14 feet. You know, had the couch that folded down to the bed in the back, you know, and a bunk. And then I think that I know the bed made up in front where there was a table. You could fold it down for a bed. I don't think that other one folded down to a bunk, you know, and then a sink and a stove. And then Grandpa had put a propane refrigerator in there, but originally it was an ice box, you know, and a heater. Everything you need, man, to survive. Everything you need to live. and beyond. You don't even need all that, but man, that's comfort. You know, I live in a camper trailer, no problem. Well, I have, man, many times. Lived in a motorhome for 6 or 7 years. Anyway, so I'm on there looking at camp trailers, and it wasn't the camp trailer. I don't know whatever happened to that. I sold it, which, man, I wish I'd never done that. And anyway, I'm looking through there, man, and there is, bam, same year, everything, camp trailer, Grandpa's camp trailer, basically, like it was when he had it. Because after Scott Marks, Grandpa Scott, after he got it, he always, man, he was a welder and, you know, fabricator, and, man, he put a deck on the back of it for hauling four-wheelers and stuff, and tables, you know, off the side of it, and all this fancy stuff. But anyway, this one that I came across is bare bones. It ain't got all that fancy add-ons. But, man, this thing's nice. It is in good condition. And, man, it's just, I mean, it's it, man. It's the same year, same brand, everything. Other than they want too much money for it, man. If it wasn't for that, I'd be all over it. But I emailed the guy. He came down $500. It'll come down quite a bit more than that before I'd buy it. I'm cheap, man. I like a deal. Of course, you can get in on payments and all that, buy a brand new one. But I think I already told you about how I feel about payments. But I did see, you know, when I was looking at trailers, of course, dealerships came up, you know, from Flatlands, $110 a month, $500 down. Yeah, for what, 60 months? No way. You know, other than, I don't remember what I paid, because I bought it from Mom and Scott. And I don't even remember what I paid for it. They ain't got a clue, Kitty might. That was way BS before stroke. But anyway, after that, all the camp, you know, because I redid camp trailers, you know, and I could just get me one and redo it, but I want one that I can go camping in next week. I have 2 camp trailers I need to redo right now. That one, man, with the, you know, that I picked up, I think it was last summer, and it was free. That's what I was getting at, is you know, camp trailers, all the ones that, you know, I wouldn't say I ever paid over $500 for a camp trailer. You know, maybe a couple of times, you know, fix a few things and then sell it for more. I had a heck of a racket going there for a while, man. I was actually fixing up the camp trailers and selling them on eBay. I was making good money on them. I hope that's the last big one. Heck, man, what else can we talk about? Just rambling, man. Just out here doing firewood and talking about the things that go through this crazy hillbilly's mind. This one, and I got one small one, and that's unloaded. I'm going to start doing these ones behind me and keep at it. It's already starting to warm up, though, I can tell. Man, there was 100 and something yesterday. This heat, man, it kills me. As soon as that, you know, I don't even see the sun. I don't think it's cleared the mountain yet, but I can feel the heat. As soon as that sun and all that hits, cover this thing up, I'm out of here. At least I got my truck pretty much unloaded. And I'll do some more of this. Need to do some stuff in the garden. Got stuff to do everywhere. That's it for today, man. So, everybody be careful out there in this crazy, crazy world. Stock up, man. Stockpile some food and water, especially water. And watch your top knot. Good Lord willing. And them creeks don't rise. We'll be back again tomorrow. See ya.